fast, and I want to introduce a couple of folks to you right now. And they are Candida Ellis, who is the owner, Coldwell Banker.
Good morning.
Good morning, Coldwell Banker, down the street here.
That's right.
And Guy Barretta, who is the Chief
Operating Officer.
The Operating Officer. Okay, Chief Operating Officer. Guy, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
And good morning, Candida.
Good morning.
Now, Guy, you're new.
I am new.
Yeah, I mean, not new, but you're new here.
I'm new here. I'm new to the company and new to the area. So, just a couple of weeks, and we're really excited about what we have going on. And, this is the next progression in terms of the future of our company and working the market.
So what do you think? Do you like it here?
Love it.
Are you familiar with the area?
I am actually a little familiar.
Okay.
Driving north on 87, going skiing in Vermont, not necessarily here, but I've skied Bel Air many a time, so I know this area pretty well.
Okay, good. And Candida, you've been here since how long?
I've been here for a while. So I opened up the our Coldwell Banker office here in 2006.
Okay, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
That part.
I've been here for a while. I had to remind Guy to bring a sweater this morning. I said, things change up here.
I know. I was down yesterday. I was down in Dutchess County, with a friend of mine, and it was way warmer than it is here. Let's put it that way. But and we serve. Our signal goes down to Hudson and Catskill now.
It's great.
Yeah, 103.7, and we have transmitters all over the place. So we have, like, when you hear me say the temperatures, I'll say it's 32 degrees here and 45 degrees in Hudson. So because you have to keep everything, because of the elevation here. But it's a beautiful area. It's gorgeous. I love it.
Couldn't be more beautiful. We love it up here.
So tell us about the market these days. As far as housing in this area, you guys probably have a pulse of all of that information, right?
We sure do.
I see more people here than usual. Is that it?
Definitely more people. I don't think it's a secret that people are starting to discover our secret, which is that it's pretty amazing to live up here. We certainly have a very increased demand for people who want to enjoy the beauty. So we're noticing that, calling it COVID fever.
Yeah. I was sitting back and I'm saying to myself the other day, this is just a thing in my head. I'm sitting in my place. I'm looking out over the pond that I have out there and the mountains, that I have a nice view of some of the mountains. It's better in the wintertime when the trees lose their leaves. Right. But, it's not so bad in the summertime. I was sitting there watching a movie and I was sitting next to my sliding glass door and saying, this is cool. It's like being on vacation all the time. I can sit here and there's places to go. It's not like you're in the middle of nowhere. Well, you kind of are, but you have all these amenities. You have nice restaurants. You have activities. You have the ski areas, of course, and they have other activities, and everything works on something else. So, and I'm thinking, well, if I lived in a town like this in Nebraska, I probably wouldn't like it. No offense to Nebraskans, by the way.
Yeah, careful there. I'm from Nebraska. No, I'm just kidding. But I will say that the mountaintop has, changed tremendously in the last 15 years for sure. It's a 4-season lifestyle now more than it ever was. It's just amazing up here. Yeah.
So now, does that mean that we're going to have more building, more housing?
I think it would be a logical progression for us to see a resurgence in new construction based on demand. Certainly land is becoming a commodity, particularly on the mountaintop. Everywhere. People are looking for, their own bastion of privacy. Builders are starting to look and I'd like to see a resurgence in new construction. It would be great for the sustainable market. Yeah.
There's always a trickle of construction I noticed around here, and most of it is basically in, how should I say this, like the log homes and the big, more expensive properties.
Yeah, for sure. But, interestingly, we're also seeing a renewed appreciation for, the townhouse and the condo market. With the idea that people are looking for short getaways, they want to explore the area. They're coming up here for many more reasons than just skiing. And I think, the condo and townhouse market is really seeing a new breath of energy and fresh air, which is great because it's a wonderful solution for so many people too.
And we do have in this market, still not enough houses on the market. So our listing inventory is still kind of slow. So the ability for somebody to come in and say, maybe it makes sense for me to buy that lot. Maybe it makes sense to buy construct the home that I really want to have. does make sense for some people.
Mhm.
And that's where you're seeing some of that construction as well.
Okay, cool. But, there's views here, a nice view increases the value of that property.
It does.
Yeah, because I learned that.
Views are key, especially in this area. It's key. Yeah.
You need a view of the mountain.
Well, okay, I lived in, just to give you an example, I had a nice house, beautiful house in Connecticut. I lived in Salisbury. I don't know if you're familiar
Very
with
nice.
that. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. But, and it was like 4,000 square feet, but it was on a main road.
Mm-hmm.
And when it came time to sell that house, the people coming up from the city did not want to be on a main road. They
Well,
wanted to be in the woods, basically.
there's upsides to being on a more traveled road, let's say.
Okay.
I mean, living on the side of the thruway is one thing, but when you're up here on the mountaintop, accessibility is a factor. So
Of
there are a
course.
lot of people who might prefer to be a little bit closer to a main road, one that gets plowed a lot.
Oh yeah, everybody
That's good too.
Right. Everybody has their own wants and needs. I mean, some people want to be totally isolated.
Yes.
I don't want anybody within 10 miles of me.
Yeah, we were just talking about that on the way up this morning. My boyfriend wants to be in the middle of absolutely nowhere. That's what he would like to be.
Well, I told you I live in condos. I live in condos.
Yeah,
And it's nice because, I'm by myself again,
Mhm.
that's really good to live, because and when I was by myself and then I had a little health problem, I couldn't take care of the house anymore very well. So I had to, go from the basement to the second floor to do laundry. I mean, and,
That's a lot.
yeah, it is. But there's all kinds of housing units here.
There really is something for everybody. And it's
Is there there's a shortage of, say, rental units?
yes.
detect
I mean,
that.
generally speaking, in many of the areas where we do business, we're the number one brokerage in Greene County, but we also have offices in Dutchess County and several offices in Ulster County. And I'd say that generally speaking, for sure, it's affecting the year-round rental market.
Mhm.
It's even affecting the short-term rental market. They're harder to come by. So I think it's safe to say that a lot of people want to be here, whether it's for the weekend or for the week, or in many cases they have just decided to make a lifestyle change and move here, which is amazing.
Okay.
And with everything going on, they could actually work here, and be here, live here, and work remotely because they're not in the position of getting back into their offices or, their companies, whether in Northern New Jersey or New York.
Well, that's another thing. Since we have that ability now to work remotely, that has a factor in how things have changed here.
I think it's changed the real estate market forever, and I think it's going to change our communities forever. Even after we're on the backside of this COVID-19, and hopefully it'll become a distant memory soon, and we'll have a solution to it. But I think that solution notwithstanding, it's really changed things. It's given a lot of companies the ability to see outside the box and realize that telecommuting is a good option for them. In many cases, it's increasing production among their employees, and people are realizing that it's not so bad. And I think we're going to see different kinds of people living up here for a greater part of the time.
Mhm.
People are coming up here to get out of the city or to get out of Northern New Jersey, and they could work up here. Or what they're finding out is they're falling in love with it up here.
Well,
And they're
yeah.
falling in love with the lifestyle.
What's not to fall in love with?
And that
Absolutely.
really means that these communities may continue to experience that little bit of population increase.
Because, I knew some people even commuted from here, a couple, but that's difficult. I wouldn't do that. But to be able to work remotely all the time,
Yeah.
is something that, why not? Why not live in an area like this?
Yeah, why
You
not?
can still get to the city if you want to,
You can certainly get to the city, but Guy said something interesting about population increase. But I would like to point out, I have a lot of our clients and customers are talking to us about that, and we've done a number of interviews lately. Bloomberg and Washington Post interviews have they called upon us for some information, and one of the things to note is that low inventory market, Joe, that you mentioned earlier. We're not really seeing an increase in population just at the moment. We're seeing a tremendous increase in demand, and we're seeing a big increase in appreciation. But we have more people who want to buy things than we have things to sell them. So it's not like we're seeing an explosion in the population just yet. So I think that's important to note, that it's going to be, in my opinion, in our opinion, I think a really healthy growth sustained over time. I don't think this is just a bubble. I think this is the new world.
Well, one person tells another person, tells another person, tells another person, and then pretty soon you have a flood of people. And then, like I said, in the long run, it's something that might start.
Good in the long run, but I think it'll be healthy. Yeah.
It might start because of this situation that we're in, but it'll continue because people will realize, people will come up to visit and say, wow, I'd like to live up here too. And, because it said, getting back to the rental thing again, too, I wanted to mention Airbnbs. Everybody sees, people will tell me, like, everything is turning into an Airbnb these days. What's that situation like?
I mean, I think it is. Yes, that is look, it has really good things, too. You have a number of people, and let's not forget, we have a long-term community here, people who live here, and many of them are able to continue to support their rising tax bills, the affordability of their own homes by making them short-term rentals. So that's really a great thing for a lot of people. Sure. We're seeing definitely a tremendous amount of that. We're also seeing people make investments in homes for the purpose of renting them for Airbnb to help offset their equity and build wealth. And that's definitely happening. But each municipality is a little bit different. So each town has different rules and regulations about how, what you can do with Airbnb. So make sure you check with your local realtor about that before you throw the money.
Well, I know a lot of communities here don't have zoning per se.
True.
And some do.
Many do.
So you have to watch out for that.
That's
too.
Right, Joe. Yep.
Yeah. Each community is different.
You need to do your research. That's very important.
Exactly. So I'm going to just throw it to you guys for any wrap up that we haven't covered that you'd like to cover. Any situation, anything you can think of. Candida Ellis from Coldwell Banker, Village Green Realty, the owner, and Guy Barretta, who is the chief operating officer for Coldwell Banker.
Well, I'd just like to take a minute on behalf of Joan Lonergan, my partner, and myself to welcome Guy Barretta to the family and to the team. And I'd like to say to everybody who's listening today that we're really excited about it. Our phones are always on, and Guy and myself are happy to ever answer any questions that you might have about the local real estate market or real estate in general. And it's just a very exciting thing for our company to have Guy on board. Guy comes to us from Coldwell Banker corporate offices. He's somebody that Joan and I have been working with for many, many years, and we're very excited to have him on board. And, Guy's background is pretty impressive, and he's going to be an amazing asset. So if I haven't said it to you enough times, Guy, so excited that you're here and welcome.
I'm excited to be here. And, to Candida's point, there's a lot going on, in the Wyndham market and all the markets here in the Hudson Valley. So for the consumers out there, if there's any questions that you have, any ideas that you may have, or anybody that you want to talk to, feel free to reach out to us. We want to be a resource to you. We have a tremendous group of agents that continue to rock it every single day. So anything that we can do for you, we want to do it.
Yeah, and remember, we all live here. We're all locals.
Yeah.
We're one of the, the premier real estate companies in the nation and in the world, but we're locals. We all live here. So all of our agents out of the Wyndham office are local to this community and all of our offices. So, we're available.
Yeah, that's
for questions.
Because in this business, so many radio stations are not local anymore.
And so many real estate brokerages are not local, too.
Yes. I mean, they have a guy in Dallas that records for 10 different radio stations and does the drop-in liners every day.
Yeah.
And they, you can hear it, especially if you're in this business.
Right.
But we're local, too. So, I mean, it goes together. So
it's really important.
And love, it is.
Yeah.
To get that local touch because, I shop in the same markets. I go to the same places. I go to the same restaurants. And that's another thing. I mean, there's a lot of things that really recommend this area. The resort capabilities, the restaurants. And
this particular area has just come so far, and it's so wonderful to see all the great businesses and all the people who have, come up here and invested in the community. And by invested, I don't just mean money. I mean, knowing and loving these communities is really important. And, anytime you choose a professional, it's important that they're know and love it the same way that you do. So
Yeah.
thanks, Joe, for being local.
That's great.
And feeling the cold.
I'm a hologram, by the way. I'm actually in Jersey.
No, don't say that.
Candida, thank you. And Guy, thank you. And best of luck to you.
I appreciate
By the way, your name is so cool.
Well, I appreciate
You
that.
know, in this business, we used to have fake names so we protect our innocence, you know, or
Guy
whatever.
Barretta is not a fake name.
No, it's not. But I was going to tell you, you know, Joe Lavero, I use, that's my real name. You know, it's very Italian, very ethnic. But when I was young, I had to use different name. I had to use a different name, so I became Joe McKay. So for years, I was Joe McKay on different places. And then when I became a general manager, I went back to using my real name again. But, you know, my dad would get mad at me. He says, "What's the matter? You ashamed that you're Italian?" No, it's just a thing, Dad. You know, nobody remembers a name. But anyway, so that Guy Barretta would have been a great name to use on the
Isn't that
radio,
a
is my
great name?
point. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's not so great. If it were my own, I wouldn't make it up, trust me.
Well, believe me, I would never call myself Candida.
Thanks, Joe.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Listen, guys, have a great day. And thanks for dropping in.
Thank you
Cheers.
so much.
Thanks for
Really
having
appreciate it.
us.
Okay. Take care. More